I don't believe that the jailer was ever the judgment of souls, right? Or the judge of souls. I don't. It doesn't fit with what he is, how he does what he does, or how he believes. I don't believe the Shadowlands functioned the way that they function now either. And this is where we actually get into the story of Draka, right? Everyone continuously talks about Afterlives Maldraxxus, and everyone talks about the Legion world that was shown in one of these screenshots. This screenshot specifically is what everyone fucking references. But everyone seems to miss the fundamental point of this. It proves something that at least based on everything else we know, it proves that this was a lie. Maldraxxus does not only serve the Shadowlands. It's been confirmed that this image that you see right now on your screen is not in the Shadowlands. Christy Golden actually said this on Twitter. This is not from the Shadowlands. This is a different world. So what is Maldraxxus doing in this different world? What is Maldraxxus doing outside of the Shadowlands when the Necrolords clearly has one job and one job only, and that is to defend the Shadowlands? See, I don't believe that was ever the case. At some point, it was decided that the Pantheon of Death would never interfere with the mortal realms. But I don't think that was the original sense and purpose, because everyone looks at this and they think, oh my god, this is so important, look at the Legion. What's more important is what it tells us about Bastion and Devos. That's far more important to me than this. This is cool, and it's quite nice to see a sort of throwback to this. Well, it's even more interesting that the Necrolords knew what the demons were planning. They knew that the demons were a threat, and yet they did not act. They never interfered. At least not from what we know, right? It could be that they worked behind the scenes, but they definitely didn't do anything here. But as far as I'm concerned, it gives us far more pause to think about Bastion. Now, during the Uther cinematic, right? Uther can't accept what happened to him. He claims that he still serves the light and that his duty isn't over. Devos tells him, your duty is over. There is no evil here. Let go of your past and accept the path. Right? This is what Uther believes. Or this is what Devos believes. But it's through Uther that Devos discovers something different. She discovers that a lie, a great lie, is being told to them. If you play through the story of, and this would take you guys some time to do, but once you get into Shadowlands and you get into the Kyrian or the Bastion zone, you very quickly realize that Devos believes that they've been betrayed, that the path is flawed, that the very idea of them casting away their memories and forgetting everything about their past so that they can bring souls from the mortal worlds into the Shadowlands without judgment, because that, by the way, is why their memories are cleansed. They need to be able to ferry souls without judgment. It's not their job to judge, it's the job of the Arbiter. But this is where Devos realizes this is wrong. This is wrong. We should be able to judge where souls go. We should be able to know. And I think this is what a lot of people, before we get into why this Draka cinematic is so important to me, I think this is where a lot of people missed the mark. Uther shouldn't have been in Bastion. If the Arbiter was doing her job as it was meant to be done, Uther should not have been in Bastion. His soul is scarred. His soul does not function. It's not right. This is where Devos realized blindly trusting a single being with the judgment of all souls? Why must they be slaves to this being? Devos also states, and we've spoken about this at length before, but Devos also states, as she listened to the words of the jailer, she realized what was done to him was a betrayal. What was done to all of them was a betrayal. In other words, as the jailer explained to her how he ended up in the maw, why he was thrown into the maw, as she listened to those words, she started to see the similarities between her story and that of the jailer. See, I don't think the original jailer, I don't think the jailer, Zuval, the original Pantheon of Death, was ever meant to be confined within the Shadowlands. They were like all of the other cosmological forces. They were like every single one of these cosmological forces. They had the right to fight amongst each other. They had every right to fight amongst each other. But he was betrayed. Because when he wanted to take up arms, when he wanted to ride out and stop these other forces from taking over, he was usurped. He was usurped because he saw the enemies that was forming around them. Because right now, by the way, Death is being surrounded by every single one of these cosmological forces, except, of course, surprise, surprise, Light, Life, and Order seems to not really give a fuck. Again, I believe that this is because it's Elun's forces, and Elun has already betrayed Zuval. It was at Elun's behest that they betrayed their brother, that they threw him into the inescapable maw and bound him there forever. It was at her behest. So her forces don't need to attack the Shadowlands. Her forces are becoming rather powerful without it. This is why Sire Denathrius is after fighting everyone. This is why Sire Denathrius is after in these where the fuck is it? This one. This is why Sire Denathrius has agents in every single one of the cosmological forces. Because he understands that they've been taken over. He understands that they've been betrayed by all of them. That none of them can be trusted and that all of them must fall. The question, of course, becomes, and this is something that I know a lot of people ask, right? Was the jailer actually betrayed? Or did he first betray his brothers and then they betrayed him? This is actually not answered anywhere right now in patch 9.0. I have looked everywhere. There doesn't appear to be any reasoning even for why the jailer was thrown into the maw. Even the Primus's voice lines here doesn't give us an actual reasoning for why, right? It doesn't give us an... Ages ago, the Eternal Ones punished our brother Zuval for his treachery. So they explained that he was treasonous. So he did something that betrayed them, but they never say why. They never actually explain why they punished him for his treachery. But here's the funny thing about all of this. The jailer believes that he's the one that was betrayed. He doesn't think that he betrayed them. He believes that he was betrayed. Right now, it's a fucking mess. We could sit here and speculate as much as we want about who betrayed who was actually in the wrong, who was treasonous and who wasn't. What if it was both? What if the jailer, very much like Sargeras, he saw a threat on the horizon, and unlike his brothers and sisters, he wasn't happy to simply sit around and do nothing. He wasn't happy with just fulfilling his task. He wanted to act. And it is that action that eventually led to him being punished by his brothers and sisters. Now, the argument here would be that there's a bunch of craziness around Zuvul, which is questions that you have to ask yourself. I don't necessarily have answers to these questions, but it's definitely things that I think about quite a lot. The power level of Zuvul being the first one. I'm not saying Zuvul is the first one, I'm saying the first thing you need to think about is the power level of Zuvul. Blizzard tells us that Zuvul is going to be a Titan plus plus. The question, of course, becomes, is he Titan plus plus because of all the anima that he stole, or is he Titan plus plus because he is, in fact, stronger than most of the other Titans? Could it be that all of the Eternal Ones is stronger than most of the Titans? So the Eternal Ones by design was designed to be far stronger than the Titans. Don't know. I seriously have no idea why this is the case. Okay. What I do know, all of the other Eternal Ones are afraid of him. All of them. The way the Primus speaks here, you can clearly gather that he should not escape. There is but one hope to save the Shadowlands. The Eternal Ones must stand together once more before the jailer escapes the Maw. Bring my warning to the Archon, the Winter Queen, and the Sire. They must see to our defenses. Do not let Zuvul reach the Sepulchre. The Arbiter is the final key. Protect her, or all is lost. In other words, this dude, Zuvul, in order to stop him, you'll need all of the other first ones. Not just one powerful one. All of them will be required to stop Zuvul. So Zuvul is no mere Eternal One. And this is not the only, there's multiple areas within the Shadowlands where you're going to learn about their fear for this Zuvul. They all believe if Zuvul escapes the Maw, it's over. End of discussion, end of fucking story, good game, thanks for playing, it's done. Once he gets out of the Maw, he is unstoppable, there's nothing you can do about it. You have to stop him before he leaves the Maw. How? Why? Don't know. I have no idea. But Apocalypse, I'm with you. Let's break him out. Fuck it. I'm with you. I think, personally, the jailer should escape and we should help him. Who's with me? Who's bloody with me?